Fair use. Fair use.
Power around 37 BCE and reigned as king over Judea under the patronage of the Roman Empire. Herod the Great was an Idumean, which means he descended from a people who had converted to Judaism several generations earlier. He became the Roman-appointed king of Judea, and during his reign, he undertook extensive building projects, including the expansion of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, known as Herod's Temple, and the construction of fortresses, palaces, and cities.
All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being the name of his only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Now, this Herodian dynasty, go back here, is an Idumean Esau Edom dynasty. And we see and know that these was so-called white peoples. You see, they was people that was the so-called Roman, who was other Idumean and Edomites, converted into Judaism, put over the land of Judea, appointed by the Romans, who had world domination. Just like the Edomites now have world domination, the so-called white men. And so this is how you get to the point where the apostles, they are in Judea and they are prophesying and they're spreading the gospel about Yahushua, Hamashiach, to the Jews. Now it had got to a point where, let's go to the verse, where the Jews was having an uproar about what was going on with the apostles. Let's see, Acts chapter 12. In Acts chapter 12, the so-called Jews, they pretty much was setting the apostles up. In verse 1, it says, "Now about the time Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church, and he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread." So now you see how these so-called Jews or the Israelites was instigating the situation. It was instigating between Herod and the apostles. They was the instigators of Herod and the apostles, because he seen it would please the Jews. See, and so he threw Peter in prison. Now the angels broke Peter out of prison, and let's see what else was going on. It says, verse let's see here. I was saying something here in 20. Let's go ahead and get that to get the whole context. It's saying Herod was highly displeased with them of Tyre and Zidon, those Hamites, or those living in the land of Ham. It says, but they came with one accord to him, and having made Bastus the king's chamberlain their friend, desired peace, because their country was nourished by the king's country. So the so-called Hamites, are trying to have a what you call it, a truce with these Edomites, just like they kissing up to them now in the UN. These African. Verse 21, it said, upon a set day, Herod, arrayed in royal apparel, sat upon his throne and made an oration unto them. Verse 22, it said, and the people gave a shout, saying, it is the voice of a God and not of a man. Now, who is these people? Because, mind you, you're in Judea and you was converted. You're an Edomite that converted to Judaism, and you got the people that's in Judea, the Israelites, saying it is a voice of a God and not of a man. You see, this is what the Lord is saying with these wicked Negroes worshiping the so-called white man, the Esau Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Verse 23, it say, and immediately an angel of the Lord smote them, because he gave not God the glory, and was eaten of worms and gave up the ghost. So this is what the Israelites do, man. They sit around and worship the so-called white man and these Edomites, who is the worst of the heathen. And what did they say about Yahushua? The same thing. Let's see, is it all men? Let's go into that. Oh man, look at him. Shall believe. Let's see if they give it to me. Yeah, John 11:48. That's what I wanted. Okay. See, this is the wicked Negroes who are Israelites. It said, then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council, and said, what do we? For this man do many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. And the Romans, see the so-called white men, the Esau, Edom, the Idumeans, shall come and take away both our place and nation. You see, they kissing up to the so-called white man. Now there was another one, because he had just resurrected Lazarus. So they was already mad at the situation. Now I'm thinking in Matthew, it has almost the same thing. Let me put in Romans. So that give me the Matthew verse I'm looking for. Nope. Okay, let's see here. Salakia, I was looking for that. John 19:15, it say, but they cried out, away with him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, Shall I crucify your king? The chief priests answered, We have no king but Caesar. See, this is the wicked behind Negroes that we're going to have to deal with in these last days because they want to worship the so-called white man so much that they're going to be ready to crucify the elect of the nation of Israel, crucify their own brethren, you see, because this is what wicked Negroes do. See, they were so gung-ho into following the so-called white man, they instigated this man to kill Apostle James, John's brother. Now, I wanted this one in Maccabees real quick. Maccabees 1 and 11, it said, In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. See, let us go make a covenant with the so-called white men. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. Okay. So they say, let's go making a covenant with the so-called white men. Let's join hand in hand like Martin Luther the King and the rest of these coons. This is what they do. See. Now when you go into this one, verse 43, it say, yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. See, these are kind of individuals that's going to throw the elect under the bus because they worship the so-called white man. See, let me get that because they say, oh, he is a god. He got the voice of a god. Look at Ezekiel 28. This is why we know this talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. It say, verse 2, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Thus says the Lord God, because your heart is lifted up, and you have said, I am a god. See, he got these Negroes saying that he is God. I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet you are a man and not God. Though you set your heart as the heart of God. I want to get this verse here, verse 9. It says, Will you yet say before him that slayeth you, I am God? But you shall be a man and no God in the midst of him that slayeth you. See, when that angel popped out the sky on their behind, see, and took his whole life away from him. Them Negroes wasn't talking about no he was God then. See, they don't talk about this kind of stuff. Let me go to I want that Revelation 13, I think it is. Because this is what these Negroes do. Now, when you go into Revelation 12 and 13, it's talking about the red dragon and the red beast. Both of them is called red because Edom, the so-called white man, is red. You can see the blood coming out through his skin. When you go into Genesis 25 and 25, it says Esau came out red. Then in Genesis 25 and 30, it says his name was changed to Edom, meaning red. He represents the red nation, or red represents him and his nation. So this beast that is talking about is talking about the so-called white man. And in verse 7 it says, And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, just like Herod the Edomite and James, who he killed with the sword, and to overcome them and power was given him over all kindreds, tongues, and nations. And what were they going to do? Verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose name is not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. See, these Negroes that's worshiping the so-called white man, because their name is not written in the book. So they is gung-ho to worship him and give him all the respect and the praise. See, where is it? Let's get some on. For verse verse 15, it said, he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast shall be killed. See, the apostles and the elect of Israel, they're not going to worship these dragons, and they're going to try to kill you. See, the so-called white man going to kill you with this sword because you not going to want to worship his thinking behind, and you don't respect him and don't care nothing about him, and know that he's a thinking Edomite animal. See, the devil that the Bible speak of, what and Yahweh called the devil in Revelation 2. Let me get that real quick. Revelation 2 and 9. Where is it? And 10, it says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not, but the synagogue of Satan. They are the Satan in the Bible. Fear none of those things which you shall suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. This is what he did to Apostle Peter. See? And they the one running around trying to call themselves Israelites when they know they was converted and they came from Esau, Edom, from the Caucasus Mountain, from Mount Seir. This is where they come from. They come from their forefather Esau, the so-called white man, is not an Israelite. There's no such thing as a white man that's an Israelite. See, these dragons come from Esau, Edom, and they the ones that the Bible calls Satan, and they're the ones that the Bible called the devil. And these people want to worship their behind. See, they want to worship Satan. That's why the Lord said you can't have two masters. You can't be going to these folk churches, worshiping the so-called white man and think you're going to be able to worship Yahweh and Yahweh. It's not going to work. And these Negroes want to stay blind to the fact that this man is the devil. See, when you can anybody can clearly see that the Romans had these peoples in slavery. They didn't have their own peoples in slavery. That ain't what happened. You can't have your own people's captives because y'all the same people. See, all white people are the same. White people can't have another set of white people in slavery. Just no, you can't do it. They the same nation. They can just mistreat their own people. That's all that is. You just mistreating your own people. But you ain't stole somebody and keep them captive in your land that ain't a part of your people. That's captivity. That's slavery. Slavery is not mistreating your own people. So they got the whole situation twisted. But I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Yakakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, descendants of slaves, scattered around the globe on slave ships and through many captivities. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.